just want to go to bed. I just want to go to bed. Why won't you go to bed? Because I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. And I know that just like I don't want to do this right now, I won't want to do it when I'm awake either. I mean, when I've had a full night's rest either. I'm gonna finish what's on my bed and then go from there. I'm propping my phone. One corner is right here because I need some like, it's like my phone is at an angle. It's literally propped up right here on this corner. It's so precarious. Literally everything I do is precarious. I'm getting tired. Like, I haven't finished my coffee and I still have a lot of Monster left. But I don't want to drink that anymore. Caffeine hurts my body. Shorts, pants that don't fit me, more pants. Pants. Flop. Floor. Skirt. Night clothes. Pants. Night clothes. Skirt. Night clothes. Flop. Should I just stay up? Do it? should I do? Should I drink coffee? Do this without coffee? What about Monster? Maybe some Monster? Maybe not. I still have this side of the bed to do. This side. I've done part of this. There's still shit over there. I got this side too. Are my bags prominent? I brought up the fact that I have bags multiple times to different people because I like them. Like, I like the tired aesthetic, but I don't know, I just like them. They're just a part of my face. I recognize that they are, and I'm like, okay, you know, I like this. Which is, probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but multiple people have been like, what bags? Or you do have bags? And I'm just like, are they just prominent to me? Is it because I like overanalyze my face? Like, I feel like they're, like, you can tell that like I have skin right here that puffs out differently than the skin right below it. Like, there's a visible line, and sometimes it's more prominent, you know, than other times, but like, it's there. But everyone I've talked to has been like, what? And it seems like genuine, I guess. Like, they're genuinely like, what the hell are you talking about? They're not just like, oh, what? No, you don't, you know? Just saying that because they think that it's something I'm self-conscious about, but it's not. It's actually something I like. Me too. Well, at least I cleared my bed off. Made my bed. I hung my clothes. I put them on hangers and I hung them. That's all I managed to accomplish. Oh, and I cleaned off my cups. They're outside of my door. I haven't washed them yet. Will I feel better tomorrow? Yes, but I'll feel better physically, but motivation-wise I won't. And well, I'm not sure about this. My roommate will be awake tomorrow. So talking like this, he will definitely hear me. Because he's always in the living room and my walls are paper thin, so he can hear every sound I make. Which, if you cannot tell, is a big stressor for me. It stresses me out a lot. Gather that up and then go, whew, get that out of here. Because what can I do about it? Nothing. And another thing, my door has like a slight crack. You know, where it closes in the door frame, there's a slight crack. And you can see like this much. And I get so stressed out because I walk around in my room without clothes on because this is where I'm comfortable being naked. I feel like he can see me walking around. Or if I'm doing anything, I feel like he can see me. And it's not about the fact that, like, I think that he would be looking. That's not it. It's just the fact that I don't have complete privacy. Makes me feel not safe. I always want to have some kind of safe space, you know, because I think I'm really, like, I've determined that I am just in a talking mood and not a cleaning. I'm just gonna go to bed because I'm tired. Yeah, but like I always want a safe space, and when I didn't have a roommate, the whole house was my safe space. You know, the outside world was, you know, free game for anyone, but inside my apartment, it was just me, and I only had to worry about that. I think I'm really, like, phobic to people, or, like, something like that. Like, I have big social anxiety a lot. Where I can't relax with anyone. You know, like, I don't feel like I can talk this freely with anyone but myself and, you know, inanimate objects. Like a phone. I like get emotional just thinking about it because it's such a big, like, frustration in my life. It's such a big, like, stress, like, burden. Anyway, hold on, I'll finish this thought in a second. Uh, uh, I'm trying to think about what I was saying. So yeah, I get stressed out. With every interaction with another human. And that anxiety has spread to animals now, which it has never really ever been that way in my life before, but now it has. So now I even feel anxious around animals, which is so awful because they have always been, you know, another safe space for me. You know, they don't judge, you know, me like anyone else ever would or could. Sorry. You know, they don't tell me shit for me. They don't tell me to listen. They don't hurt me on purpose. Or unjustified, you know, like they could physically hurt me, obviously. But they would only do that if they, you know, felt it was right. They wouldn't do it out of meanness. But now I can't even, like, have that. Now my fears and anxieties that I have with people, control, you know, how I act. You know, I recognize that I have these fears, but I think I overthink way too much, and I panic and I blank out and I freeze up and my body tenses up and I get like tunnel vision and just numerous things could happen, you know, if I'm really feeling stressed or anxious around people. This is literally with anyone, like my mom and my siblings, and they're like, my family is like the closest people I have, you know, that know me because they love me unconditionally. As you should, if you decide to love someone. Because in my experience, you have to make a decision to love someone. Like, obviously, things come naturally, but you have to make the decision to keep someone in your life. You know, because that decision is yours always, you know? For me personally, that's how it works, is like, if I look at you and I'm like, you know, I feel like you're someone that is worth keeping around, and I feel like, I don't know if there's some kind of blockage with myself, I feel like I block a lot out from myself. I think I'm just tired. At least right now. I just went on like 3 different tangents. Anyway, back to what I was originally saying. I get very stressed out around people. And I only feel truly comfortable when I'm alone. And that's probably a normal thing, you know? It's probably how everyone feels. But I want to feel okay with myself. And I want to feel like I can talk. Talking to you. Me. Talking to you. In the future. You know. Like, you know. You know who you are, and you know your worth. Don't dismiss it. Like, I know. It's just really easy to not think about that and to think about everything else when I'm around other people. Because other people have their own brains and their own thoughts and their own actions and their own emotions and they put out into the world and their own, like, vibes, you know? Like, I get overwhelmed trying to read all that. I feel like I listen way more than I speak. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because you know. And at least you have a goal, you know? You know that you want to speak more. And nothing's stopping you from doing that, so I'm gonna work on that. Anyway. Back to what I was saying for the third time. I do this thing where I, like, smile. But, like, if you again, I'm clarifying for, like, an outsider. This is to an outsider because I know myself. I know my own things. But, like, when I, like, smile or I have some kind of emotion on my face and then it drops really quickly, that's because I, like, feel it shut off. I feel it quit, you know? Like, whatever prompted me to feel what I was feeling and have that show on my face, you know, whatever I was feeling that my face reflected, I am no longer feeling it in that instant. So I'm like, okay, well, I have given myself the freedom to just drop it as soon as I stop feeling it, you know? Instead of trying to be like, oh, well, I gotta be normal, so I gotta be like, oh, you know, like, transition into it. Like, no, if I drop it quickly, it's because it's like, but I feel stressed out with people, and my roommate is included, you know? He's a good friend of mine. I call him my best friend, and he is one of my best friends. I think there's a threshold that we haven't crossed yet. I don't know what that is. It's me, you know, it's not him. It's nothing that he hasn't done. It's more like something I haven't solidified about him in my mind. Maybe I don't appreciate him enough. Maybe I'm just afraid of calling him my best friend because I don't really want to get that close to anyone. It's okay though, we're really close. Like he's a lifelong friend. You know, there's a difference. Like even though I'm, you know, contemplating whether or not I really should call him my best friend, I feel that way about a lot of people, but I guess I say that because we have chemistry, but like it's not the same chemistry that like flows, you know? I don't know. Like it does flow. I don't know. It's different. Maybe it's different from everyone else I've called my best friend before. Maybe that's why. Or maybe it's because I felt like I had to call him my best friend because he called me his, you know, and like I should call him that on my own time. So if I don't feel comfortable calling him that right now, that's okay. Because that's the truth. But he is a good friend. Anyway, what I'm saying is I should feel comfortable around him in theory, but I don't. You know, and I'm like that with everyone. My point is, any roommate, any person, any human is going to stress me out a lot. And the fact that he is always in the living room stresses me out because I feel like I cannot go outside of my room without him. Like the couch faces my bedroom door. So like he is always on the couch facing my bedroom door, you know, so his line of sight is always going to be at my door. You know, so every time I go out, he's going to be like, you know, like looking at my presence, being aware of my presence. I'm going to have to like, so I'm like hyper aware of like me walking and everything I'm doing, and I'm like tensing up and hunched up. And I don't want to do that because that makes me feel like I have no control over the situation. It's not his fault. He's just living his life. He says that he doesn't like to stay in his room, probably because he's lonely, which is makes perfect sense, you know? Because he doesn't have his family anymore. His family is gone. They moved. They didn't die. So, like, my family and me are, like, his next immediate family, you know? Like, so yeah, he's probably lonely, just chilling in his room all day. He's a different type of person, you know? He's probably doesn't feel as comfortable being alone without any stimulation. I get that. I also like being alone, though, a lot. Anyway, he is always in the living room. So, and whenever we're together, now sometimes he doesn't do this, but I feel like a lot of times when we're together, he will talk a lot. And that's a lot of stimulation and a lot coming at me at once, you know, because and another thing, there's just so many things, and it's like, what the hell am I supposed to do, you know? Am I being overly sensitive? Because in case that wasn't obvious, that's like a pattern or a habit or a trait of me is like sensitivity. So it could very well be me being overly sensitive to these things, you know, and I'm trying to be aware of that, and I'm trying to like recognize that it's me and that these are mental things that I need to learn to cope with, you know, and because I don't ever want him to change himself. You know, I want him to be himself. I want him to feel like I want to feel, you know, I want to feel like I could be myself around someone, and I want him to feel that way too. I don't want him to feel like he talks too much or is too loud or should be in his room, you know, because that's not how it should be. That's not right. But that doesn't get rid of what I'm feeling every day. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It's frustrating. Part of me's thinking, these are not things you should be worrying about, because I know what I should be worrying about, and that's my schoolwork. Schoolwork, I hate that word. I'm going to stop saying that. My academics is what I should be worrying about. Guess we'll get to that later. I did not even like my roommates in college when I went to college the first time. That was awful, because we had to share a room. I didn't even get my own room. We had to share a room together, so if you can imagine how much of a nervous wreck I was with that, I never felt like I had a safe space. That's what this whole thing was about, is having a safe space, right? I need, for my sanity, to have somewhere where I feel truly safe. And I feel pretty safe in my room, but it's that one crack in the door. Every time I walk past it, I feel exposed. I feel like it's just an eye, you know? This is my stress right here. Stress. It's okay. See? Back. See what I'm talking about? You see that? You see that? You see that? Look, you can see like a shadow right here, where it's like a little bit darker, and then you can see a fucking shadow right there. Look, and then it goes all the way down, like that. You can see that. And like, everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, bro, that's my bag. Like, if I was a cartoon character, I'd want bags. Like, I know they're not prominent enough to, like, draw on a cartoon character and then someone would be like, oh, that's, you know, that's them. Like, recognizable feature of them. Like, I get that. But, like, I like them. I'm tired. I need to just go to bed. Good night.